Are you guys ready to have a bloody good time? I like coming and checking out bloody stuff because they're always innovating. They work with A4Tech's their parent company. They make their own technology. They're not just using a bunch of stuff from other places. You see the same sensors in some of their mice and stuff, but their switches, this is not just cherry or kale or whatever. These are special, and there's an infrared interrupt going on in here. So these are like the lowest latency. If you guys have seen our video on the Lightstrike 2 keyboards, go ahead and click on the link in the description, it'll be there, and you should. You'll understand the technology. If not, I'll give you a quick rundown. So instead of just smacking the bottom, worrying about corrosion, worrying about hardware messing up, what's happening is that there is an infrared LED that's going through there, like an optical switch, and then when you press it, you interrupt it, and it's the fastest switch on the planet. So they've improved upon that. This is Lightstrike 2 over here on the side. See those? That's Lightstrike 2. So we have Lightstrike 2 over here, and then this is Lightstrike 3. And with this one, they've got a new support bar. They've improved some of the internals. A little prism back here. Look at that fancy prism. So just a total improvement on the switch. It feels really stable. And they've also improved some of the technologies on the inside. But the main thing for you guys at home is that it's just the fastest switch on the planet. Now they made it a little better, added the support, and made it really stable. Now if you're wondering what all these different colors mean, well, the brown is not equivalent to a cherry brown, and the orange is, there's no real orange out there. Now the orange is going to be kind of like a blue, but it's a little bit heavier. Not quite as heavy as the green, but it's that clicky tactile. You hear that? Yes, clicky. And then the brown is actually somewhere between a red and a black cherry switch as far as the style goes. It's fully linear, so if you want just really fast, actuate, return, just go, go, go. No clicks, no tactile feedback, just completely linear. The brown is the way to go. I also like this a little bit better than reds in my opinion because it's more firm, so I do like that. So let's take a look at some of the new keyboards they have here. This is the 945 here, and this one's interesting because the number pad is on the left. The idea here is that your right hand where you're playing games is going to be in a more comfortable position because it's like where you're naturally going to be resting. This is the 975, and this is more just the standard layout with the number pad over here. Full RGB, of course, but this is just like your standard keyboard. If you want that layout and you want the switches, this is the one to grab. Now, if you want 10 keyless, they've got that one as well right over here. And this is like metal on top, guys. They really did a lot as far as like the build quality. So that's their new keyboards and their new technology. And this is something to like call everyone you know, call your mother and grandmother. Technology has not really changed that much in all the years. So they've got this fun setup right here. You guys remember the refresh rate on these things? I mean, I guess the latency and everything on these things is ridiculous. So old CRT, well, this is not even a CRT. This is just a flat panel. And this is an old school like cherry from, just like maybe from the 80s. And then like an old school mouse over here. We've improved that some, but like the scroll wheel, still using the same technology. The left and right buttons are still similar technology. I mean, we've got newer, fancier switches. And Bloody really decided to change and start trying to figure out, hey, it's 2018. We can do some new stuff here. We've got more demanding gamers. We can make products for them. So that's where they come in with their new switches and also some new technology on the mice. Let's go check out the mice. All right, so we've got the V3 here. It's got the separated buttons, just around 92 grams, so very lightweight. 3360 sensor on all these mice. That's just like the thing. You've got the 3360, but they were like, how can we improve on this? So they took their Lightstrike, there's basically the infrared or the optical switches, and they created switches for the mice, and they also created the same thing for the scroll wheel. So this is all working with optical technology. This is all like completely modern stuff. You're not worrying about hardware slapping together and stuff. So this is really like a major step in a new direction. And I really like coming and checking out Bloody stuff because of that. Also on the bottom here, these feet, you're never gonna have to replace those. That's not polytetrafluoroethylene or anything like that. That is metal. So we now have metal, very smooth metal feet on these, and it glides extremely nicely. So as far as this one goes, it's just a different shape. It looks like ambidextrous, but there's only buttons on this side, so it's just a very ergonomic mouse. You also have some curves right here for your fingers that fits in there very nicely. Now the thing about both these mice, we have all these programmable buttons, and you can store up to 6 profiles on the mouse. So that's the new stuff going on with the mouse, but the main thing here is that, how can you have something different? Well, you can have new technology for your switches and for your scroll wheel, and that's really what's different about these compared to the other mice I've seen. All right, you guys know how I feel about gaming headsets, right? We tried these out. Now they've also created some custom technology. They're not just rebranding some stuff. They're not just using some regular cones. What they've done here is they've come in and they've created their own drivers. And this is carbon fiber. So carbon fiber is really lightweight, but it's also really dense, giving you like a very tight sound. So I put these things on, I listen to some metal, listen to some classical, listen to some choral with some voices and all that sort of thing. Not only are the speakers nice and tight and the bass is good, there's 40mm drivers in these, and then we've got these are the over-the-ear, and then we've got the on-the-ear versions here if you want to do that. These are probably going to be more comfortable, but these are a little bit smaller. These are going to be more comfortable for longer periods of time, but these also sound good. So as far as the tuning on these goes, you have a nice tight bass response, clear frequencies up in the high range. I mean, it just sounds really good. They kind of had a sort of a flat hi-fi sound. They're not muddy like a lot of the gaming, headphones out there, headsets out there. So I don't really have too many negative things to say about these. They sound good, and I really like the fact that they're making their own technology even for these. So these are going to go right up there with like the Kingston Clouds as being some of the only gaming headphones that I like. It's really just cool to see that they're making some stuff for people who are discerning and want like some quality gear. I guess the only thing I could think is like the aesthetic. Is it something you like or something you don't like? What do you think of their technology? Let me know. These things are very minimal as far as the aesthetic goes. I like they've done that. They've also redesigned their logo, so they're looking to move into some new territories, and I really do. I'm not saying this because we're like here when we want to impress anybody. Like, the stuff's cool, guys, so check it out. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll see you guys on the forum.